Hello students, in this session we are going to begin a new chapter, genetics. Before going to begin, let us have a small recap of last lecture. We have studied the causes of female infertility, which includes which are due to the ovulation disorder, the fallopian disorder, the uterine disorder, or maybe due to medication. Causes of male infertility that are semen disorder, testicular disorder, ejaculation disorder, that erectile dysfunction like impotence, even medication, and maybe immunological disorder. To these infertile individuals, persons, the treatment is provided. If all the treatments fail, then the doctor suggests assisted reproductive technology to them. What are the different types of assisted reproductive technology are available? That is IVF, in vitro fertilization. In vitro means fertilization outside the body. In vitro fertilization, fertilization outside the body. AI, IUI. AI stands for artificial insemination. It can be done. Artificial insemination can be done in the vagina, in the cervix, or in uterus. The most common method of artificial insemination is intrauterine insemination, IUI. Okay, instead of natural insemination, the artificial insemination is done, where the low sperm count of the male partner or the low sperm motility, okay, is there, then it is done. GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer, means both the gametes are extracted, they are processed, and they are transferred into the fallopian tube where the fertilization takes place. ZIFT, the ZIFT is the zygote intrafallopian transfer. That means the fertilization is done outside, then it is transferred into the fallopian tube. That's why it is known as the combination aspect of IVF and GIFT. ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. The sperm, a single sperm is injected into the, directly injected into the cytoplasm of the egg, that is into the ooplasm. Surrogacy, we have studied. Surrogacy means a woman who provides her womb, or we can say who bears and develops a fertilized ovum of another woman who is intended to have a child but infertile. After giving birth to the baby, she handovers the baby to the intended person or the couple with parental rights. Okay, let us begin the new chapter, genetics. Genetics, do you know genetics is the Mendel's breakfast, Morgan's dinner, and a versatile teacher's cup of tea. Okay, what is genetics? It is the branch of biology which deals with the study of heredity and variation. Heredity means inheritance, or we can say the transmission. We will come across with these words again. Variation means the differences. William Bateson coined the term genetics from Greek word genesis, meaning origin, to begin, to start, in 1905. Gregor Johann Mendel is known as the father of genetics for his discoveries on the basic principles of heredity, that is, inheritance. He first observed the transmission or inheritance of the characters from parents to offspring while conducting the experiment on the pea plant, Pfizer sativa. T.H. Morgan is known as the father of modern genetics, who discovered sex linkage. The genes remain linked while transmitted from the parents to offspring. Okay, he discovered the sex linkage in Drosophila melanogaster, which is a fruit fly, an insect. Okay, however, we came to know genetics is the It deals with the heredity and variation. What is heredity? Let us know in detail. Heredity, also called as inheritance, is the transmission of genetic characters. If it is genetic character, it is emphasized with an adjective genetic. Then what? Some other type of character is also there. Yes, the acquired character. Genetic character is the inherited character. We got it from our parents through the genes. Whereas the environmental character, how it is formed, we will, that acquired character, we will develop. Genetic characters are the inherited character. Okay, inherited characters. Heredity, also called as inheritance, is the transmission of genetic characters from parents to progeny or offspring. It can be defined as the process by which characters or traits. We will differentiate what is character and trait, but more in more it is these two words are used interchangeably, but there is a difference. We will discuss that terminologies. The characters or traits pass from one generation to the next generation. There is a common proverb, like beget like. Common proverb, like begets like, that is, which means that there is a strong similarity between the offspring and their parents. Okay, see here some the NCERT sentences are brought over here. See, and this chapter genetics starts with these sentences in NCERT. See, very nice sentences. An elephant always give birth to a baby elephant and not to some other animal. See, the parent elephant give birth to the baby elephant, not any other, not the tiger, means a cub of the tiger or a lion, is it? And a mango seed, here are the fruits, so seeds are present here. Within this, a mango seed forms only a mango plant. Okay, this is the mango plant, not any other plant. Mango seed develops grows into a mango plant, not any other plant. Thus, the offsprings resemble their parents. Okay. What is variation? The degree of a differences among the offsprings. Offsprings, do you know what is offspring? Offsprings, here it is intended. Of course, offspring means children. Among the children means among the siblings. What I am telling? Sibling. I am telling it is sibling. S I B L I N G. Siblings means your brother and sister. You are having a brother or a sister. You may be a single child also, but those who are having the brothers and sisters means the children of the same parent, they are called siblings. Okay, the degree of differences among the offsprings and between the offsprings and parents is known as variation. Differences in the characteristics is shown by the individuals of a species. These are shown by the individuals of a species. Okay, and even also by the progeny of the same parents. By the children of the same parent. Here again some NCERT sentences are here. Just let us go through this. Here is the Sahiwal, cow. Here are the chickens, how they are developed from the wild variety. Okay, human knew before 8000 to 1000 BC, before Christ, variation is due to the sexual reproduction. Okay, due to the sexual reproduction. Because recombination of the genes occurs during the sexual reproduction. When an egg is fertilized by a sperm, the intermixing of maternal and paternal chromosomes occurs. That's why the new characters are developed, which are just somewhat different from the parental characters. These characters are called hybrid characters, hybrid vigor. Better quality, the characters comes with the better quality. Okay, the ancient people also means since long the people has started they have exploited variations. They exploited the variations. They started finding the variations present in wild plants, wild animals. What are that variations are found in the wild variety? They started selecting animals to selectively breed and select organism with desirable characters. They started selecting the breed. Breed means those who can give birth. Okay, matured ones, matured animals, individuals. And select organism with the desirable characters from the wild variety. Artificial selection, okay, and domestication of wild cow. Now it is the Sahiwal cow of Punjab. Okay, how these are that hybrid quality chickens are developed from the wild quality is shown over here. Do you know some new terms? Yes, genomes. Genomes in a human is one genome. Genes of one individual, the genome is one. The genome it includes all the genes in a haploid set of chromosomes of a particular organism, that is complete set of genetic instructions. All the genetic instructions which are going to express into proteins. Proteins they regulate the different the expression of the body parts, the physiology, everything, whatever is visible, whatever the metabolic activities are carried out, physiology, they are they are regulated by the different proteins of our body. So what I'm telling, genome includes all the genes. That means complete set of genetic information. That are all the genes present in one haploid. One haploid set of chromosome means 23 chromosomes. There are two haploid sets, one from mother, one from father. That is the genes of one haploid cell. Genes in human genome is 20,000, about 20,000 cells in a human body. 75 to 100 trillion. Chromosomes in a human cell, 46, that is 23 pair. You see, gene is a single functional unit or segment or the sequence of nucleotide, that is of DNA molecule, that express a trait or a protein. Wilhelm Johansen, a Danish botanist, coined the term gene in 1909 to describe the Mendelian units of heredity. What is Mendelian units of heredity? We will discuss. You see over here, this is the cell and nucleus, the largest organelle. Within the nucleus, the chromosomes are found. Chromosome is made up of the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and some structural protein. The DNA is having the number of genes. This is the one segment comprises one specific gene. Okay, this DNA consists of the exon and intron, exon like this. That means the active genes, functional genes, and non-functional genes. In which area the functional genes are present, they do the transcription to produce the proteins. Okay, they express the proteins. And non-functional inactive genes, they do not do. Okay. Now, let us see some as we have discussed here, Wilhelm Johansen, they coined the term gene for the Mendelian units of heredity. What is the Mendelian units of heredity? Factor. Mendel used the term factor for the fundamental unit of heredity, which is responsible for inheritance, means transmission or passing on. person of the trait, person of the particular fundamental unit. That is, Mendel used the term factor. And what is that? Which is responsible, the factor is responsible for inheritance, transmission, and appearance of a character. That is expression of the character. Character, any observable feature, that is height, color of the iris, skin color, okay, or the thickness of the hair, color of the hair, many things are there. Then these are the characters. What are acquired characters? Again, characters are, I was telling you, the characters are of a different type, that is genetic or acquired. Genetic also known as inherited. Acquired, which is produced in response to environment. One gene is there, gene expresses the character or trait. Again, if that is influenced by the environment, then we are telling acquired character. Inherited character. Suppose what are the acquired character you see? Suppose one is crushing one's finger and the finger is cut up. So that cut up finger is the acquired character. It is not inherited. But 6 fingers in a hand is inherited. Okay? Inherited character is produced by genes transmitted from the parents. Is inherited, genetic, that is came from the parents. Trait is a specific characteristic of an organism. If height is a character, then the tall or short or dwarf is the specific trait of that character. The trait is a specific character. Offspring means child or children of a person or individual. Progeny, same thing, the descendants or child or children of an individual, that means offspring. Filial, offsprings are denoted as filial. In phenotype and phenotype term are coined by Johansen. Okay, phenotype. What is phenotype? The external appearance of an individual. You see here, this is the iris. Okay, a CD-like structure at the center. There is a hole, that is the pupil. Okay, this is the white eye. Generally, we used to tell black eye, but it is not black eye. It is iris. Okay, and this is also iris. And at the center pupil is there. Iris here, the color of the iris is blue, color of the iris is brown. How? The phenotype of, not blue eyes, okay? It is generally we call, but color of the iris is blue, color of the iris is brown. Okay, the external appearance of an individual, the set of the observable characteristics we can observe, we can see the color of the iris is blue or brown. Of an individual, the set of observable characteristics of an individual resulting from an interaction of its genotype with the environment. Okay, may or may not be. If the environment is not affected, then it is simply inherited character is there. That is, however, a phenotype character is also affected by environment. Genotype. What is genotype? The genetic constitution or the genetic makeup. Genetic constitution, just we have discussed that the offsprings of the first filial F1 generation is that dominant gene and recessive gene, capital T, small t. Here let us see the genetic constitution or genetic makeup of an organism for a particular trait. For each and every trait or character, there is a genotype, specific genotype, that is inherited from parents. You see, the blue-eyed person, individual is having the genotype, both recessive, small b, recessive. These are called, we will discuss, recessive. Okay, the gene, the allele is recessive. Genotype, here the brown eyes genotype is either both dominant gene or both dominant alleles or the one dominant, one recessive, that is heterozygous allele. This is homozygous dominant allele. And the expression phenotype is dominant, brown eye. Okay, then what is allele? Just we were discussing allele is each of two or more alternative forms of a gene. In a diploid organism, at least two forms of a gene, are found. That are, okay, alleles is each of two or more alternative forms of a gene that are located on the same positions, that is loci, plural, on the homologous chromosomes. These are the two homologous chromosomes. You see, one from father, that is paternal, one from mother, that is maternal. Here you see on the same position, because we will study the two homologous chromosomes are of same size, their centromere position is same, and the position of the alleles of the same gene are present on the same loci or same position. So here are these are the alleles. The two forms are the similar or dissimilar, or however, the two forms of the same gene. For example, in human, height is controlled by two alleles, that is the dominant gene capital T, recessive gene small t. Do you know the capital letter, small letter who started using to represent the dominant and recessive gene? Dominant and recessive alleles. Okay, here alleles are of two types, that is either dominant or recessive. What is dominant? Which suppress the character of other. See, two forms are same. Suppose how we will understand? Suppose +2 biology, class 12. Class 12 biology or +2 biology. You are having the one book that suppose of Kalyani publisher, one is Rastogi publisher. They are the two forms of the same topic, same book, same class. Okay, so two forms of the same gene, two or more forms. They are the alleles. One is dominant, one is recessive. Now, do not compare of the books. Okay, dominant is that suppresses the characteristic of the other form of the gene or allele. That means dominant always suppresses the character of the recessive allele. Allele term was also coined by Bergson. For example, let us go with some example. Example, in human, height is controlled by capital T, small t. Whereas in ABO, blood grouping is controlled by the gene I, in which it has three alleles, three forms. This gene I is having three forms: IA, IB, I0, not IO. Generally, we tell IO, but it is I0 because no antigen is present. I0 or small I, we represent for the recessive gene. So, what are the forms? Two dominant, one recessive, by which it regulates the type of blood group a person had. Let us go through the detailed picture of the dominant to understand more detail. Suppose this is the violet color is due to the dominant gene, that is dominant allele capital A, and here the white color of the petals, okay, is due to the recessive allele small a. When the genotype is homozygous dominant, then the color of the flower is violet, dominant color. When the recessive, the homozygous recessive, both the genes, both the alleles are recessive, then the white color is expressed. When it is in a heterozygous condition, one dominant, one recessive, then it expresses the dominant character only. Now, come to the chromosome. Chromosomes are the thread-like structures located inside the nucleus. We have gone through the structure of the chromosome within the nucleus of each cell made up of, that is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid molecule, DNA molecule, and structural protein histone. Okay, we have already discussed that. In other way, we can say that DNA is packed into a thread-like structure along with the structural protein histone. These chromosomes are of two types. There we have discussed the characters of two types. Here chromosomes are of two types: sex chromosome and autosome. Sex chromosomes are also known as allosomes, also known as idiosomes. Idiosome, IDIO, Allosomes. Let us write on this. Thus, take the pen. Allosome, also known as idiosome. Idiosome. Okay. idiosome, idiosome. Idiosome also, it is the sex chromosome. A chromosome concerned with the determining the sex is called sex chromosome. Which chromosome concerned with the determination of sex of an individual is called sex chromosome. In the process of evolution, the genes are responsible for the determination of sex. They are segregated into a particular chromosome. Okay, that is called sex chromosomes. These are designated as X and Y chromosome or Z and W. You know, these chromosomes are morphologically distinguished from each other. They are different. Their morphology is different. In humans, sex chromosomes are X and Y, where X is larger than Y. What are autosomes then? The remaining chromosomes in the cell other than the sex chromosomes, of course, except the X chromosome. Whatever the chromosomes left out in the cell, they are called autosomes. And these autosomes are designated as A. Okay, let us clear this board. Now, let us move to the next. Homologous chromosome and non-homologous chromosome. What are homologous chromosome? We have already used that term, that homologous chromosomes are the two copies of each chromosome, two copies of each. 23 type of chromosomes are there. So one pair is sex chromosome, we have discussed, and 22 pairs are that autosomes. Okay, each are having, except the sex chromosome, all autosomes are homologous chromosomes. The one from mother, one from father. One set is that is paternal, one is from maternal. These are the chromatids when they are in the normal means other than the cell division time, during the time of cell division, they replicate into this structure chromosome. A single chromatid becomes double chromatid. Okay, single chromatid becomes double. One from mother, one from this is shown father, this is from mother. The homologous chromosomes are a set of one maternal and one paternal chromosome that pair up. Okay, these are the pair with each other inside a cell during the fertilization. During fertilization, what happens during the fertilization? When an egg is fertilized by a sperm, the intermingling or intermixing of the maternal and paternal chromosomes occur by developing a diploid cell called the zygote, that is the unicellular embryo. So it is called during fertilization, they are paired. Approximately, the homologous chromosomes approximately of the same length with the similar centromere position. The centromere position is same. They have the same genes in the same loci. Suppose here is the gene for iris color, here also gene for iris color. Okay, same genes are present on the same loci. Non-homologous chromosome consists of alleles of different genes, not of the same gene. Okay, then let us go with a detailed structure. This is the pair of a homologous, that metacentric chromosome. You see, the centromeres are present at the middle of the chromatid. You know, this structure from single chromatid, the double chromatid, another chromatid is developed during the replication. Okay, in the synthetic phase, it is formed. So, just before cell division, the DNA is replicated. That's why the chromatid becomes double. These two chromatids are called sister chromatids, whereas this is of one chromosome. These two are, suppose this is from the father. This is from the mother. Then these two, when one chromatid duplicates to another, but they are attached at the centromere position. The two sister chromatids have a common centromere. Okay, so you see, you can count the number of chromosomes by counting the centromeres. So it is single chromosome. This is also single chromosome because one centromere is there. But if it is from father, this is from mother, then these two are homologous. But these two chromatids are sister chromatids, but this chromatid and these two are non-sister chromatids. Here, a pair of homologous acrocentric chromosomes. They are present towards one end, not the extreme end, but towards the one end. Centromere position. See, this is if it's from father, it is from mother, then these two chromatids are said to be non-sister. And these two chromosomes are non-homologous. This is one chromosome. Okay, one type of one homologous. This is another pair of chromosome. So these two chromosomes are non-homologous chromosomes. Remember, homozygous, heterozygous, and hemizygous, that belongs to alleles or the individual. When both the alleles of a gene are similar, that is maybe homozygous dominant or homozygous recessive. Both the alleles are similar. Here you see both the genes are, the alleles are similar. Alleles of the alleles of the same gene, they located on the same position of the homologous chromosomes. So these two are homozygous genes. Here these two allelic forms, the alleles of the particular gene are different. So you can get this. These two are heterozygous alleles, and this is hemizygous because only it is present in one of the homologous chromosome. It is absent in another chromosome of the homologous pair. If this is from father, this is from mother. Here that this is present in the chromosome of the father, but not present in that maternal chromosome. The gene is the allele is not present in the maternal chromosome. Heterozygous, that is when the two alleles of a gene are dissimilar. Okay, we have discussed. Hemizygous is the condition in which only one copy of a gene or DNA sequence is present in diploid cells, where the diploid organisms, all the genes are present in means all the genes having at least two allelic forms, alternate forms. Okay, then males except the ABO blood group system, there the multiple, not only that one ABO blood group system, other some multiple allelism is there. A few multiple alleles are there, but mostly the diploid organisms are having the two forms of a specific gene, particular or specific gene. Males are hemizygous for most of the genes on the sex chromosome. The genes for maleness, they are present in hemizygous condition, single. They are not found in the X chromosome. Okay, having only one X chromosome and only Y chromosome. So the genes of X chromosome in a male are also in hemizygous condition. So what are the phenotype of these homozygous, heterozygous, and hemizygous alleles? When the homozygous dominant alleles are there, the dominant trait is expressed. When the genotype is dominant, homozygous dominant, phenotype is dominant trait. When heterozygous, then also the dominant trait, that is height is tall. When the homozygous recessive, the alleles are homozygous recessive, then the trait phenotype external observable character is that is recessive, that is short height. Homozygous, heterozygous, and hemizygous that alleles are shown over here. Homozygous alleles are same. Both the alleles are similar, and here the heterozygous, they are dissimilar. Hemizygous, that is only one allele. That is example of XY in male. X chromosome and Y chromosome, if we are talking, then X chromosome, the genes of the X chromosome is a hemizygous. Genes of the Y chromosome are mostly the in single. Okay, the one pair of homologous chromosome are shown over here. You see the homozygous alleles, here the heterozygous. It is represented in the letter. Here homozygous genes are shown in same color. Heterozygous alleles are shown in different color. Here is yellow and green. Homogametic and heterogametic. What are homogametic? The individuals where the sex is determined by two similar sex chromosomes. Here you see the females with the two X chromosomes. By the presence of two similar sex chromosomes, we can determine the sex of this individual is the female. Okay, and having two similar type of sex chromosome and produce similar type of gametes. These are homogametic. They produce all the eggs with X chromosome only. The number of chromosomes reduced to half in the gametes is the 22 pairs of autosomes. Here the only 22 autosomes is the one pair of sex chromosomes remains in the normal diploid cell. In the gamete only one sex chromosome. So all the eggs contains the only one X chromosome. That's why they are homogametic. The individuals are homogametic. And these heterogametic means, okay, remember homogametic also known as homomorphic. The individuals are also known as homomorphic. Heterogametic also known as heteromorphic. Hetero means different, homo means similar. The individuals where the sex is determined by dissimilar sex chromosomes. Two dissimilar sex chromosomes. One is X, one is Y. They are not similar in morphology. Having two dissimilar type of sex chromosome produce two dissimilar type of gametes. So individuals are called heterogametic. These are seen in majority of mammals, including humans and most of the insects. In many insects.